This is very different, Toast. Honestly, Davison, I don't think anybody's going to agree with you about this.
Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Nerdbug Podcast episode 249. 49.
249.
250 next week. We should do something. But until then, fuck it.
Who knows, eh? Well, Guardians. We'll talk about Guardians.
The Guardians trilogy.
Of the multiverse.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Would it be any good? You decide.
You decide whether Chris Pratt is still an asshole or whether Dave Bautista is still the best wrestler turned actor of our generation.
If ever.
And his name is John Cena. Wait, so he's worked with Cena, he's worked with Bautista.
Oh, you got Mr. Gunn. Yeah, he's not worked with The Rock.
The Rock
No.
confirmed to still be Black Adam, and he said Black Bolt.
Black Bolt. Well, he certainly can't keep his fucking mouth shut, that's for damn sure.
What mouth? You know what? Doctor Strange, A-OK. The Marvel films post Endgame, they're good.
They are fine.
You
Yeah.
just fucking like wanting more after Endgame. We got to build to that again.
Expectations are higher than the sky.
We got fuck that sky high because we got to do Secret Wars.
Yeah, no, that's another 3 or 4
anyway,
years.
I'm George. That's Connor. We talked
hello.
pop culture on the internet last week. We talked about the Power Rangers.
Yeah, go
And you people
Nostalgia
seem
Rangers.
People seem to like it.
Ooh.
So my father-in-law has YouTube Premium, so I was like, no adverts.
Oh, no adverts are us.
So I was
Brilliant.
like, fucking Star
So what did you watch? How far back did you go? You gotta go back.
So obviously I'll end up doing Mighty Morphin straight through.
Okay.
But I went back. I watched a couple of episodes of Wild Force, and I was like, "Yep, still good.
This
Still
is my
nostalgia."
jam. This is my jam.
You know, oh god, it's so phenomenally cheesy, but I love it. I love it so much, like a bag of it's covered in fucking Japanese footage. I bit of Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
And then I started Time Force, and I watched like 4 episodes in a row because I was like, as I was watching it, I was like, I remember this entire season happening before my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Wes / Alex / Jen fucked both of them.
Incest from down the timeline in a kid's show.
Literally. Ooh, be careful of your Q-Rex, Eric. But oh god, it's so pants, most of it, but I love it. I really want to go back through and do Mighty Morphin straight through. Which I really do at some point, but then it means I have to experience everything post Mystic Force, and that scares me.
that does scare me, yeah. When we genuinely cut off during our retrospective last week, because for me it was like post SPD, so post 2005, that's when I, like, you know, life happened, grew up, gaming took over, and then I kind of just hopped off the train. But I think post 2005 I am kind of like completely noob to it, apart from like I know the songs to Mystic Force, and I heard that jam and I thought, hey, you can fuck that sky high, and I thought, no thanks. But I'm completely oblivious to what happened after 2005, really.
Yeah, but I mean, we could experience it together. We'll hold hands on stream and watch RPM.
Get in gear!
Yeah. Power Rangers on here. Fuck off. Jungle Fever. Look, alright, apparently the Red Ranger's got the best, like, arc, but also, fuck the morphine sequence, man.
For RPM.
Sunglasses and a dance.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point? And then the Rhino
Just
Yu-Gi-Oh
dance,
hand.
it'll be okay.
Fucking... Oh, Lady Gaga is a Power
Lady
Ranger.
Gaga.
She's a Power Ranger. The Ranger conundrum. We'll talk about some bits and pieces, because have you seen anything new this week?
What film wise?
Yeah,
a
seen
film
one.
that no one would have heard of. Nobody, no blebby Timmy Ho. But there's some good, cool connections to the Who mythos, so I think it's worth talking about anyway. Again, the name's got nothing to do with the actual film, but I saw a film on SeaWorld app called Polite Society.
Oh,
And someone at work randomly mentioned it, and I showed a trailer to my mum, because we were going to see Big George Foreman and his life story, or this Polite Society, and then we just agreed and went, Polite Society, we're in the mood, we want something silly, we want something to laugh at, and essentially it's a rom-com without
The rom.
Without the rom being the main forefront at the forefront.
Have one rom-com, hold the rom, hold the com. Just give me a
Hold the com.
fucking film.
Exactly. You just give me a fucking film. That was in the mood. That was in the mood for yesterday.
That's cool, man.
But no. All I'll say is
War.
Nida Manzoor, her directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
That name might not ring any bells to you. You probably think, who the fuck is Nida Manzoor? Well, after this little talk, she'll be in your mind because she formerly directed 2 episodes of the Who Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Can I guess?
Yeah. From the Jodie era. That's what
From
I'll
the
tell you.
Jodie era.
2 episodes from the Jodie era.
2 episodes from the Jodie
I won't give you
era.
the series.
Are they good episodes?
Well, one of them is a highlight one of the era, and the other, and then the one before it, back-to-back episodes, but it weren't a 2-parter. But it was just conveniently 2 episodes that were like one after the other.
All right. So the second one's better, you say?
For me, it's the one that everyone's talked about.
Demons of the Punjab.
No.
Rosa.
No.
Is it series 11?
No.
Oh, series 12. So is it series 12?
Yes.
Series 12.
Back-to-back episodes. They ain't nothing to do with each other though.
But one of them's a good episode.
They're both good, but one of them is like the focal
What was a
point.
highlight? What the fuck? What happened in series 12? What the fuck was it? There was Ascension of the Cybermen.
No. Not Diodati and no, not that 3-parter. Earlier.
Earlier than Villa Diodati.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I have, since we did that talk about Jodie Whittaker, all knowledge of Doctor Who has left my brain? So it's 5 foot. Is it, one of them all from 55?
No, God no, it ain't all from 55 in practice. They'll be like, you can fuck that sky high.
Fugitive of the Judoon.
Yes.
Is that the first one or the second one?
That's the second one. What's the one before it?
Oh my god, what's before Fugitive of the Judoon?
Yeah, what's before Fugitive?
Oh my god. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
Yes,
Yes.
he saved it.
Oh my god. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror is arguably better than Fugitive of the Judoon. Yes, I said it.
Yes, he said it. Ooh.
Yes. Look, as nice as it. All right, look.
No,
we haven't
I said
talked
it was the
about
vocal point. Everyone was talking about that Judoon episode because of the plot.
because of Jo Martin being an amazing. It was her birthday, I think, 2 days ago.
It
Happy
was.
birthday,
Happy
Jo
birthday,
Martin!
Joey.
Because you definitely listen to this, and if you do, please just talk to Russell and get yourself a fucking couple of guest spots, and then
an actual physical appearance, not the voiceover.
And get some spin-off shit going. You deserve it.
Yeah, on Disney Plus.
I'd be more interested in a Jo Martin Doctor spin-off than a Paul McGann spin-off, despite the fact that I want both. I think the Paul McGann one would essentially just be Doctor Who, but in the past.
It would,
not literally in the past, because that's the whole show. But imagine it would be like Paul McGann going, "Imagine Doctor Who, but in 1996, and that's what we're doing." Whereas Jo Martin, we've got some fucking creative freedom, but we don't want to learn too much. But we want to learn more. I just want to see more Jo Martin.
They need to untangle the webs a little bit more.
Not be fucked over by the writing. But yeah, Nikola Tesla Night of Terror is better because the guy that plays Nikola Tesla, whose name escapes me because we haven't done this in ages, and I probably don't want to talk about Doctor Who much longer. He was fantastic. Jodie's good in it. The guys the fam are great. And Angie Mahindra as the villain is top notch.
Oh,
and plus, Fugitive of the Judoon is 90% set up.
Yeah, and oh my god, big twist! What for the first time, especially? You're like, whoa, the show's completely changed. What's going on?
My perception of dimensions has changed entirely.
Yeah. But that's not the only connection.
Okay.
Ritu
Aurora.
Ritu Aria, again, apologies if I butchered the name. She was also in Doctor Who.
She was in it.
In the same episode.
Oh my goodness, as who?
She was Gat.
No way!
So she's the leading actress.
The Gat in the Hat.
Essentially, it's a story of 2 sisters, one played by Gat and the other by Priya Kansara, who basically is only credited for 2 episodes of Bridgerton and 3 episodes of The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself. And this is her 3rd appearance in this feature film. And then the last Doctor Who connection, is it Shobu Kapoor?
I don't know. Could be.
She also was in Doctor Who. Oh yes, so she appeared not in the Whittaker era, not in the Eccleston era, not in the Matt Smith era, but no, she was in Journey's End, where she died and got killed by the Daleks.
Was just a normal person? Or?
I believe she was just she was just a face.
She was a face.
She was a
Who
face.
found me this face? Who found me this face for some reason, and we're gonna find out, and it's gonna be a shallow payoff. I'm Stephen Moffat.
Oh right, it's her.
Oh, the one with the test, like the testing the nuclear fucking reality bastard before Davros. I don't know if he's been revealed at this point. Probably.
And Nimra Bukia.
She was in
Miss Marvel as well. She was the villain
Was
in Miss
she?
Marvel. Yeah.
Oh, I need to finish Miss Marvel, especially with the Marvels coming.
Oh, she went in Doctor Who as well. I thought she was another Doctor Who connection. But I was
She
gonna say-
looked. She looked. No, she looked like Geeta from Sarah Jane Adventures.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
God,
She
this
was.
film's got some good people in it.
Well, yeah.
What's it actually about?
So that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The tagline.
Before you
yeah.
come in here ranting
No.
about Doctor Who episodes,
Doctor
and you've
Who.
lost your fucking mind.
No, so the tagline is "Big Trouble, Little Sister," but essentially it's the story of two sisters, one younger, one older. Plot twist. Essentially,
At the same time.
the older one is an art school dropout. Like she's going to go to uni. She ditched it, and she's
So like that song in Greece.
unhappy with her life. Like in Greece, yeah, sure. That song
Even
is
though
her
that-
character story.
Even though it said beauty school dropout, but we'll fucking. Why am I
Art.
talking about Greece? Carry on.
An art school dropout, she's fed up, and she's just like, I want to stay in bed. Whilst her little annoying, shitty little sister, who is extremely relatable if you've got siblings in your home, keeps banging on her door, keeps waking her up. She's like, I'm busy, leave me alone. And she keeps basically getting her older sister to help her record stunt videos because she wants to be a stunt artist.
It's Jackass.
Yeah, from a young sister.
This is I'm Peter Griffin, and this is roof shopping cart, roof shopping. Oh, okay, go.
And what was the tagline? She said, and like the young warrior whispered to the ninja, "I am the Fury." That's literally her tagline to every YouTube skit that she does because she's got a YouTube channel and everything. So I
Yeah.
thought it was really cool. But essentially, she just keeps learning how to do martial arts, and she keeps trying to do this back spin kick, and she keeps landing on her ass. Spoiler alert: at the end, she does manage to do it. But essentially, so you've got two sisters that live in very different lifestyles. The older sister basically gets in an arranged marriage with another Pakistani family. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was like, oh, it is a love story. What's going on here? Long story short, the younger sister basically is protective of her older sister, and she's quite suspect of the bloke and their family, and they're up to no good, and she's basically like Hermione Granger, except a mischievous little brat, and she's trying to find and uncover dirt on all of them. Turns out she's right, and she's not just one big conspiracy theorist, because though that the partner's family are quite fucked in the head, and they're really dodgy. But I won't give away the plot in case you ever do watch it. But essentially, it's a rom-com. You think true love, but it then flips the formula on its head, and it turns into some sort of jab at the multiverse / cloning / reproductive, extending one's life cycle, if you will, kind of territory. And it was a fun trend. It was a fun poke at the trend of the multiverse and cloning and living other lives and trying to live immortality. And it's like, this is a weird rom-com movie. What the fuck is this? But essentially, it turns into like some action, a really cool shot action movie with a rom-com backdrop. And it was just one of the weirdest, definitely wildest movies of this year. It definitely stands out, and it was all really, really executed brilliantly. The music was great. It was in chapters. It definitely was Tarantino inspired, and this is only like a 12A, but I'm like, how on earth is this not getting advertised? Why is this not being seen?
Yeah, I've not seen much of it.
No, because someone at work literally mentioned it, and I thought, okay, well, why the fuck are you talking to me about the film? You don't even go to the cinema yourself, you charlatan. But no, I showed the mum, we saw the trailer, and we were both like, we'll give it a go. It was something easy, something light, just a comedy, like a rom-com to watch, and it was so much more than that. Mm-hmm. And it just completely flipped it on its head, and it really did stand out, and it's definitely one I would go and see again. I'd own, I'd support it, and basically it will be a limited release. By the time like people get around to see it, it would go. Like, it won't be around in cinema for long at all.
Yeah.
But it was such a phenomenal movie, and it was just not anything like 2023. It's so unconventional and so unique, really. It was awesome. But Polite Society, if you are well, if you've got a cinema local to you, if you are quiet, if you did have a bank holiday and you had nothing to do, you should have got your ass down to the cinema and watched a really good, unique movie that guaranteed not everyone would go and watch. And if people found out what the actual premise and the full plot synopsis was, it'd be like, eh? It would raise eyebrows for sure. But it was a really fun, well-directed, wonderfully acted time. And then, of course, Googling it after I watched the film, it's all Doctor Who connections. So I was like, oh, there you go. That explains half the twists then. But no, Polite Society, definitely check it out. Ideally, it'd be on some sort of streaming service in the future, because it was a Focus Features like production, or their logo came up at the beginning. And Focus stuff, I believe, I could be wrong, they do tend to be on Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah.
So it could end up on Disney Plus.
Oh, well, I'll have to, if I miss it in the cinema, which I probably will, I'll check it
shock
out
horror.
on the streaming service that it'll probably end up on. Just like apparently Air's going on
It is. Amazon
Prime on the
Yeah.
12th of May.
Yeah, that was another bloody good movie. Again, but I think that one had a bit of a bigger release. I think you can still technically see it in the cinemas if you were around the corner from it. Yeah, bigger studio, bigger known cast, bigger scenario. It's Michael Jordan, for Christ's sake. It's much bigger mainstream appeal.
Yeah.
Whereas this
Oh
one
yeah,
was
because that was
really,
marketed
like,
a lot. Yeah,
whereas this one was
the radar.
quite very under the radar, but it was so good. Definitely, I just want to say, like, inspired, or at least hinted at everything everywhere at once type level of, like, not storytelling, but it just hit me like everything everywhere at once. It just was just a surprise and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely like akin to that at the minute, and it's quite high up in the list because it was just so unlike anything I've ever seen, like ever potentially. It was just awesome, especially for a rom-com backdrop.
Oh, cool.
It was awesome.
So go and see it while you can.
Yeah, Polite Society.
What are you giving it? Have you given it a thing?
I haven't scored it, I haven't letterboxed it, I haven't done anything. But I would maybe give it. I'd give it a 9 at least. I'd give it at least a 9.
Oh,
It was really bloody good, really good movie. That deserves more attention and ideally some love in retrospect as
Yeah.
time goes on. It's really good.
oh, nice. A film I watched Peter Pan and Wendy.
And Wendy.
Because I didn't realise it was just out on Disney Plus.
Look, did you think it was theatrical? I
I thought it was theatrical.
knew.
From
I didn't know. It's Disney. Who cares?
From some of the promotion, it was like, is it both? Is it both?
Is it a hybrid?
But yeah, it was straight out on there. So but it was okay. It's
Yeah.
as
How does it rank as far as those live action stuff goes? Because I heard they're
Oh.
not great. The track record is not great.
yeah. So for me, Jungle Book's the best because it's different enough. I do have a soft spot for Aladdin.
Yeah, I kind of do. That's the only one I
Um,
think I've seen live action wise.
Lion King's because I think there's just not enough. Like you're going for the hyper realism look, but then there's no emotion. There's no way to emote the characters' faces because that's the whole point of the cartoon. Is like, you know, the singing and stuff because they're singing animals. None of it's fucking real. I'd say the worst for me is Beauty and the Beast. Dumbo's okay. It really got lost in the mix of having 3 that year because it was Aladdin, Lion King,
And Dumbo,
and
yeah.
Dumbo in the same year, which are also still 3 big hitters.
Yeah,
that
shocking,
you'll do.
really.
Whereas like you should do like a big one and a little one, like if you're gonna do more than one a year. But
Oh, and I think 2019 was also Mulan, I think. Unless that was a COVID one, I can't remember. Mulan might have been that year also.
Mulan was 20 or 21 because that was one of the Disney Plus.
Big
But pay
ones.
for it, buy it.
Oh, it
and
was
keep
one
it
of those
ones, wasn't it?
access season pass
Yeah.
bundle ones. Okay, yeah.
I've still not watched it.
No, right.
You know, not just because of the comments that the lead actress made about you know the support of the horror that was going on in China at the time, and I don't know if it's still going on. I apologise for not keeping up with such social political news events, but also I just haven't it's not grabbed me because
No.
Mulan is one of my like I am a big sucker for the considered shit films in the Disney Renaissance. I love Mulan. I love Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Treasure Planet is a fucking gem. And those are the ones you should be doing. You should be doing your Atlantis, your Treasure Planet, like lesser known, lesser well received films that are just screaming out for like the spectacle you could get with live action for doing Treasure Planet. It'd be like Guardians of the Galaxy on fucking acid. It'd
On
be
acid.
great.
Ooh.
Because
Okay.
You're taking you're taking the Treasure Island
Like, fairy
story
tale, classic
and you're
thing, yeah.
putting it within a sci-fi landscape, and it's so good. It was such a good film, so underappreciated at the time. Saw it in the cinema because something came up on TikTok of people that like collect old like McDonald's toys, and one of the Happy Meal toys of was it 2002? Yeah, it was 2002.
2002, yeah.
And you had the different parts of Ben the robot,
Mm.
and it was like to put them together. And I remember getting like most of that robot, and I just wish I'd always wish I was like, I just need another
Complete the
Happy Meal
set.
to fucking complete this thing.
Mm.
But I don't know, it's cool, man. Peter and Wendy's firmly middle of the road. It's better than the previous straight to.
I think Pan. There was one just called Pan, which weren't Disney related.
No, that was Hugh Jackman as
Oh.
Blackbeard.
Oh, was it? Oh.
This was before Hook's a thing. So
Okay.
Blackbeard inspires Hook, and then so you learn the origin story of Hook and Peter, and it's just
Jesus.
it's
Yeah.
a thing that happened. But in terms of like straight to DVD live action Disney remakes, it's better than Lady and the Tramp. Like it's because Lady and the Tramp again, the hyperrealism imagery of dogs, you can't tell what the fuck's going on. So
No.
brilliant, lovely. Yeah, it's like a 6 out of 10. Like it's all right.
Yeah.
Like your kids will probably like it. If you like Peter Pan, then you might find some
And/or Wendy.
some enjoyment out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The fact that it's called Peter Pan and Wendy as well, like it's
Tinkerbell in it.
Tinkerbell is in it. Yeah, it's like obviously like both of them are focused on because it's about it's about both of them. They're both
Yeah.
essentially the main characters, even though Peter's the only one we really give a fuck about. But Jude Law is sorry. Sorry, I was at the women's football game yesterday, so my voice is a bit croaky, but yeah, Jude Law's quite a interesting hook, and yes, I like that Jude Law's going fuck it, I'll do more
Fun stuff.
different stuff because he's done MCU, he's done
I saw, yeah.
Dumbledore,
Yeah.
like does this like
He's
more
character actor now.
more-
Character
yeah.
actor. Mm.
Yeah, sort of going down the Daniel Craig thing of less leading man, more like character actor, and
Yeah.
it works for him. And not to say that he's done leading a film because he still can, but like it's the man's in his mid to late
Past his
40s.
prime. Yeah.
He's past his Optimus Prime. But speaking of Optimus Prime, fucking Chris Hemsworth's voicing him in the new animated film.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a cast. Scarlett Johansson as well.
I haven't read the rest. I just saw Chris Hemsworth.
That's
a good-
How was he?
I saw him.
He was like,
I'm
"Alright, Connor,
Optimus
how are you,
Prime."
mate?"
Hi, mate. I'm Optimus Prime.
Oh. And you were like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, is that just your catchphrase?"
There you
Oh.
go. You're connecting to Wi-Fi. I am on the 5G network.
Where the fuck is the... Okay, so the full cast for animated Transformers origin movie, Transformers 1, which I hate.
Transformers 1.
So Chris Hemsworth as Optimus, Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron,
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson as Alita,
Mm.
Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee,
Okay. Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion.
I don't know. I'm not a
I think
Transformers
that's from
nerd
the, I
at
think
all.
that's from the thing. But
Yeah.
Sentinel Prime, aka Leonard Nimoy from Dark of the Moon, like was in the third movie. John Hamm.
Ooh. Ooh.
Which is he can portray devilishly charming yet bastardio. Oh, I love him. I love John Hamm. John Hamm and more ham for all.
more ham for all.
But,
Ham
that's
for all.
interesting. Like the fact that we're
Yeah.
getting that because also like
That's
watching
next year, is it? Or the year
I believe
after?
it's next year because like the Beast Wars trailer or whatever it is, fucking Rise of the Beast, whatever
Rise
the
of the
fucking.
Beast. King Kong.
Is
on the
it-
Beast, yeah.
Because we're back in the Michael Bay universe.
I don't know. I wish my friend who was a Transformers nerd would be here because he could fill you in all the deets. He loves it. I have come. That was the truth.
That's how Optimus.
I have come.
That's how Optimus Prime ejaculates.
I have come.
Because it's set in 1991. Because as someone pointed out, it's weird seeing a trailer of the New York skyline and the Twin Towers
and
are
the
in
Twin
it.
Towers. Mm-hmm.
Because that's like, oh, that's quite weird, but obviously that would be a thing because that's the past. But we
Yeah.
also don't like.
We don't have it no more. So what's
It's
going to
been
happen?
it's been long enough that they can do that. But it's also weird because no one's ever kind of
Done it before. No,
touched on
gone.
it.
No man's gone before. Yeah,
where no
literally.
man has done. They might have done. Correct
Mate,
us if
yeah.
we're wrong. But
Please.
set in 91, there's a substitution for fucking Sam Witwicky.
Yeah.
Fucking what's his name?
Chris Hemsworth.
No, who voices Optimus Prime normally? Fucking. I was gonna say Donald Gleason. That's Hux.
I have come, man. I don't know.
Oh, Peter Cullen.
Oh, Peter. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's voicing it. It's more of the look akin to the first
was
3
gonna say-
Transformers movies.
I guess he looks. Also, I say Optimus looks younger to me. It's like they've
Younger.
gone for a cartoon animated.
Yeah, because it's doing that thing of
like
saying
hybrid.
he's been there for ages,
Yeah.
but also he landed in the events of the first Transformers film. So is it following the? Because the Bumblebee has Peter Cullen past Optimus sending him a message while he looks like a truck, even though he technically at that point hasn't landed on Earth.
Oh God!
In the
no.
80s.
I can't wait. So that basically after Fast and Furious is done, jumping ahead a little bit, that's the next franchise this year. I've got to commit myself and go watch all the Transformers.
Before you do,
Yes.
watch the Mr. Sunday Movies videos about them watching the Transformers movies because that was synonymous when they done it at the time, and then they made a compilation of the Caravan of Garbage with all 5 of them.
Oh, all 5 of them. Oh, good.
Because you know what they're like when they start something, like they eventually come back to it. It was like, oh, we got to do all of these films. Oh fuck! And they always talk about like the worst thing they'd done was do the Transformers movies. Like we can do Bumblebee. Like no, but Bumblebee, one of the good ones.
Yeah.
There are more bad Transformers movies than good ones. I'd say Bumblebee is solid, good fun, and what it should be because it feels like the cartoon. The first one's okay, and then they just get worse as they go on.
Well, I've heard 4 and 5 especially are the
4 is fucking dog
Age
shit.
of Extinction. Or The Last Night.
Five is funny because you've got Anthony Hopkins collecting a paycheck,
right.
weird robot butler transformer,
Okay, Alfred.
and, Peter Quill from
Peter
Guardians
Davison.
2's mum
Wait,
is
what?
is the descendant of Merlin, and Mark Wahlberg's a Knight of the Round Table, and you're like,
Wow,
Stanley Tucci's there in the past.
This sounds amazing. What on earth is this?
And because it does that thing of like, oh, we only arrived at the events of the first one, but there's like some like came before or whatever.
Some came before.
But
yeah.
this fucking retroactively makes it that there were Knights of the Round Table and Merlin, and there were
Which was Prime.
Transformers were there in medieval England.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
This
no
is,
wonder
and
why
this
they
is,
didn't
this
continue
is
that.
after number 4 made it so that Bumblebee was there in like World War II, and it's
Oh,
like,
what
Jesus
is this?
Christ!
Oh, you can't make this up. What is this? I
But
don't
yeah,
know none of these
Rise
plot
of
points.
the Beasts. I'd rather see Transform, because this is about Unicron as well. Like Unicron's going.
Yeah.
Like how big is he? Oh, like he eats planets. So
I thought
slightly
Megatron was
bigger
the
than a
villain.
planet.
Who's Unicron? Is he?
Unicron
Yeah,
is
who's
the
Unicron?
planet devourer. Like it's
Oh,
at the
okay.
end of number 5. Is Unicron's in the Earth?
Oh, okay. He's there.
Yeah.
So they set it up
Yeah.
back then. Okay.
But like he's like the big bad. Like
Of the
he's like
whole-
the Thanos of the Transformers cartoon.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh.
Like ultimately,
It's all right.
yeah. Like he is bigger than like is that yeah. So that's
From the comics. That's comics.
yeah.
Like,
So he
Unicron.
is many times bigger than a planet. He's like Galactus.
Played by Coleman Domingo.
Mm.
Or voiced it by
He
him
always
at
had
least.
he always had a silky voice.
Judd Nelson, Matthew Yanking, Mark Axon, Roger C. Carmel, and Orson Welles played him in 1986.
Yeah, Orson Welles played him in the film.
What?
Yeah, in the Transformers the movie.
In 1986? Bloody hell. What? How old was he then? Oh, so it's posthumous because he died. He passed away in 85 and the film was
Yeah.
86, so it was his last thing? Bloody
One of
hell.
it's honestly
Bloody
the
hell.
Transformers animated movie is really good.
Yeah.
The animated stuff continues to be better than the live
live
stuff,
action.
apart from Bumblebee. So
Oh.
yes. What else? What else happened in the world of
Flash
your
trailer number 2.
imagination? Fuck off.
Oh, okay.
No, you could talk about it in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Flash happened
Yeah,
again.
you talk about that. Talk about that because I'm looking at my stuff.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Oh my god, that was so fucking stupid. Why is that line in the trailer? Why is that line? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Can someone win? I'm convinced that now more than ever that Michael Keaton is not playing Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton films.
Yeah,
he is playing a parody of the Michael Keaton Batman from the Tim Burton films.
So no, he's going to be Birdman dressed up as Batman.
I would rather see that. I would rather see senile, going crazy
Easy.
Michael Keaton from Birdman.
PTSD Birdman, yeah.
I mean, it
As
kind
Batman.
of the trailer does the Sony thing of basically confirm the whole plot because we near enough get the fact because the Japanese one spoils it further by confirming that
Okay, I haven't seen it.
other Barry is Reverse Flash, which has long been rumored. We've heavily heard spoilers about and basically said, well, you can't do Flashpoint without Reverse Flash. That's the whole point. The Japanese trailer essentially has stuff in the trailer that basically proves it. They should have edited out of the background. Also, we get the weird confirmation of the suit thing as well, like the fact that he takes one of the bat suits, spray paints it red.
Spray paints. I mean, I looked at that. I was like, is that it's like a weird Robert Pattinson hybrid thing? Like, what on earth am I looking at? I didn't know who it was in that suit.
He's taken one of the Keaton ones.
Yeah,
and fucking...
It's bulky. I was like, who the fuck was that?
But seemingly we had because I sent you the cameos because we see like the brief interaction of the Justice League that was cut and then still is mostly cut because apparently Gal Gadot's not in it at all.
But that is kind of retroactively doesn't make sense because of what happened in Shazam 2.
Yeah,
like
and also the fact that Ben Affleck's talked about it, like that.
Yeah.
He gets that humorous moment because it starts with the Justice League and then trying to stop Barry doing whatever he's doing, and then we're gonna get the reset. And as much as I'm excited for the future of DC, I just wish they went, we'll release the film straight on Netflix. The ones that we've done.
Get it out of the way.
We'll let you have like a year off of us at the cinema, and then we'll come back with Superman Legacy. Like I feel like it should have just been that. Instead of we're going to keep releasing it because Aquaman 2 is going to lead into the Superman Legacy
somehow. Also end what we've done before.
At that point it's the DCU, but the DCE. My eyes.
Is the E still going to be around?
I think
Ezra going to be around afterwards.
I don't think Ezra Miller's going to be in anything because I like how James Gunn's been on the press tour for Guardians, so that's been more of his focus. Which is because I know a lot of people have been annoyed by how he's since becoming DC co-CEO that he's been kind of a bit like. Obviously, he's been everywhere and like been pushing stuff like that's his job.
Yeah, he has
but like it seemed like it's been a bit too much. I don't care. Like I cannot judge until I see anything.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
But I'm kind of like I've been glad of the Guardian stuff because it's like cool. Like I know he's still going. Oh, look at the trailer for the Flash. Like this is arguably called one of the best superhero movies ever made. Which let's be real, it's not fucking gonna be.
No,
it's probably gonna be the best DC film in a while.
Probably fun movie.
Fun.
Yeah.
It will be
entertaining.
I think it will take the best and worst bits of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Sure, yeah,
and dial them up to 11.
Blend it. Yeah.
Like it, because the cameos are going to be a thing. Because apparently we get a look. Because I sent you the video, didn't I? Like you when he runs through the Speed Force, like you briefly see Nick Cage Superman famously, like the much alluded to Superman Lives.
Yeah, that was it.
So you briefly see that and other things, and also this is the thing that's pissed a lot of people off is that there is a cameo from the Flash CW show, but it's not Grant Gustin.
It's not Grant Gustin.
No, and people went. Grant Gustin is the only one that arguably should be the only cameo definitely in it.
Well,
should be Grant Gustin because one, they've crossed over before,
and
two,
just hand the favour.
Him as the Flash would maybe give some more goodwill
towards the movie. Yeah.
But a lot of people have been saying like I'm still praying for like he comes out the Speed Force, everything changes, and suddenly he's just Grant Gustin,
and suddenly he's just there, and he is the Flash going forward, because he's been a vocal point, and he's kind of said on social media like as he would like, no, I'm not in it, I'm going in as a fan. He's kind of just being coy about the whole thing.
Do you think he's Garfielding it, or do you think he's genuinely like because he has done a lot, and I guess I get why he's done.
Oh yeah,
but it should have.
He's practically had to carry it after Amel left. Back in 2018-19 time.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it always should have been a fact of because this would have they would have had that edge over Marvel, which they did for a bit with the whole TV universe.
Yeah.
But having their TV actors be in the films and portray the film versions of them would have been a step that Marvel hadn't reached yet. Which would have maybe
and it would have saved DC half the work because
they wouldn't have had to cast a new Flash
been built, and they would have just established what they already had in the TV. So
they didn't do that. Trouble that Ezra Miller has got themselves into.
Well,
it's just the classic thing of all right, we'll just say nothing for a while and then we'll start the press tour again. I feel like they're going to do the press tour. And barring some miracle, I think Ezra Miller will no longer be attached to these films directly.
God, no,
There may be room for a cameo or a fucking round it off and fuck off kind of thing. Because I think that's best for everyone. Because the stuff they've done has just been it's a PR fucking nightmare. And like the thing with Jonathan Majors at the minute.
Yes, right.
The smart thing Marvel have done is at the moment is say nothing.
Yeah.
Because the cool things going on, obviously, how that goes on will determine what they're
going to do in the future. Yeah.
But with Ezra Miller, arrested multiple times for beating up the same couple at a karaoke bar, keeping the kids on this farmhouse, there's bullets and shit. The stuff they've done, they've been proven guilty and punished for in some cases, because I don't know how long they were detained in Hawaii. Obviously, someone probably paid bail.
Pay bail.
But
yeah.
Surely, as Warner Brothers, you go, look, we're already in a shit show. Let's damage retention.
Yeah, damage retention.
Let's
damage control.
Fucking push. Just cut and paste. If you can fucking can Batgirl, surely you can can the Flash. Because this has been a trouble production from start to finish. I know, it's a shame for Andy Muschietti, who's worked on it, because it's just going to be
his whole life at this point. Yeah,
this film is going to be marred by such controversy. There'll be diehards that love it. There'll be diehards that hate it. There'll be people like us that will think it's alright.
It happened, and that's that. Yeah.
For me, it's going to be a film that you see on Netflix in 3 years' time, if Netflix still exists, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'll put this on, then you're just kind of going to do your ironing while you watch it. It's going to be one of those movies.
Yeah, lightning. I haven't seen that before. Oh, look, Michael Keaton. Oh, he makes me feel old. Back to the ironing.
Michael Keaton. I want to get nuts. Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Fuck, you're so much better than this, Michael. And George Clooney's apparently definitely in it. So so that premonition I had.
No.
It all comes true in the end.
No comment. Until I see it, no comment.
Yeah, but wouldn't you love to see George Clooney come back?
Fuck no.
Why?
You can fuck that sky high. I want to see Matt Berry as Batman.
Matt Berryman.
Berryman.
I want Matt Berry as Nightwing.
Come on, Master Bruce.
No, in all seriousness,
yeah,
Matt Berry Clayface.
As stage actor Basil Carlo from
Yes.
the 1940s or whatever retro they go with it. Yeah. It's no genuine.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be great.
And Buddy Hadder. The Flash trailer 2. We had
No more for you.
No more for you.
Yeah, no more trailers.
Do you know what we did
no more
have?
trailers.
We had a confirmation of the finale of Fast and Furious Part 2.
Part 2/11 because when you book it because the tickets are available, I think it's just called Fast and Furious 10. It's not Part 1, Part 2.
So they've gone from it's 10 but it's 2 parts, but they've done the Avengers Infinity War Endgame thing of it's 2 parts, but they're very much their own movie. So we've got 10 and 11. If they make it, then it's fucking 11 part 1 and 2.
Part 2. Oh no!
Oh my god! I can't do another 3 films of this.
No,
9 was bad. I've finally seen 9.
I can't remember it. It happened, and that was that.
Space.
Yeah,
but not
that
really.
Was it. Space. Yeah.
But they didn't actually do it in a fucking fun, stupid way.
It was just we're in space, and then that was it.
Family. Am I looking forward to seeing Jason Momoa in it? Yeah, but
give it a go.
What the fuck's the point?
No, it was the point. Yeah.
We're in the 2-part finale. If they bring back Brian, it's gonna be horrible. Please, they should have always left the character alone and just honour the memory of your friend.
We don't want him at the barbecue.
He had a fantastic few movies that he was in.
Yeah,
and just leave it at that. Don't keep fucking dragging him back in because look, Brian's going to be in it. It's but we know he's not really because unfortunately the beloved actor that played him is dead.
And there's nothing we can do about that. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
Oh. Yeah. So Louis Leterrier is set to direct Fast and it's now being labelled as Fast and Furious 11 officially as well. So that's bad.
Oh dear.
But now it's also instead of it's because they went it's going to end with 10 but 10's going to be a 2-parter. The film is expected to be the finale of the main franchise.
Expected.
I still want a Hobbs and Shaw too.
Well, that's what I mean. Can't that be the fucking finale? Can't that be Fast and Furious 12? 11 Part 2.
Fucking 11 Part 2, Hobbs and Shaw 2. I don't know. Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, as a director, I only really know him as the director of The Incredible Hulk. But
also, I think Transporter. before that. I think he at least did the first one.
Oh, so we know that if Jason Statham turns up, then it'll be all right.
He's confirmed. Yeah. But yeah, Louis
Leterrier.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm, fine with that. It's a generic action film. James Wan has done good stuff in it. Justin Lin has been the majority director, isn't he?
I think he has.
He's directed like the last few.
I think he did 9. I think.
James Wan did 7 because it was the troubled production. Justin Lin's done a few. I forget everyone that's done them because I've not rewatched the Fast and Furious films
Who
since
is
the
doing
last
them?
time.
Oh, Louis Incredible
Leterrier.
Hulk man is doing 10 and 11.
He's doing 11. No, 10 was Lin or 10 was Wan. I don't know.
Let's have a look.
You have a look. Well, I say that. Did you like National Treasure: Edge of History?
Did I like National Treasure: Legends of
Edge of
Sorry,
History.
I slowed out a bit.
Edge of History.
Cancelled.
Cancelled after 1 season.
Great.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So but they're still working on a National Treasure 3, which I still want.
So, what was the point of the TV show? Was it going to cross over? Was it anything?
I
to do
think
with
it
the
was going to
films?
be, if it had gone down
If it had been
well,
successful,
they'd have
yeah.
been like Nick Cage at the end of, like, he'd be like doing a Nick Fury shit. He'd be a Nick Cage with an eye patch on, just going, I'm here to talk to you about the stealing stuff from museum initiative or something. Who's the director?
So, Rob Cohen did the first one. John Singleton did the second one. And then Justin Lin did 3 through 6.
Yeah, and then
James Wan did
did
7.
F. Gary Gray did
8.
fucking 8. I like 8. And then
Yeah.
comes back.
And then Louis
Oh.
Leterrier, he's doing
Oh,
10 and
so-
11.
Oh, yeah, so what, did Lin... Because someone walked from 10.
Might have been Lin then? Let's find out. Could have been Lin.
It could have been Lin. was the
Lin,
original?
yeah, Lin left in April 22. Lin left as director later that month, citing creating differences, though he retained writing and producing credits. Yeah, so it was meant to be Justin Lin originally, and then he left after space production credits. I want 2 parts, damn it. No, it's 1 movie. Oh, sod this, I'm going. That's essentially what happened.
Yes, fuck that Sky High.
With an estimated production budget of $340 million, it's the 7th most expensive film ever made. Supposedly. So whether or not it will live up to those
technically,
numerical figures.
if 10 is in 2 parts, then that'll have a bigger one because it'll be 2
Yeah.
films worth of money, but they'll have to register it as 1 because
Right.
it'll be filmed back to back, so it'll essentially be 1 big production. God, these films are fucking annoying.
And we got to wait till 2025 as well for part 2 /
Have
11.
we?
It's 2 years,
When's-
2025.
Fuck.
We've
If
gotta
you're
wait.
filming them back to back, just fucking do. Oh, that
Do it
means
in
that,
6
But
months.
then that means they haven't filmed them all back to back because it was
No.
like it's a split production.
Mm.
But if they've only just hired Etier to
yeah,
signed
to
him
finish
down
it
for the
off.
next one, then fuck, man, that's this shit's bad.
Yeah, yeah, 2025.
Speaking of shit films that we love,
Oh, right. Yeah, what's next?
did you like Godzilla vs Kong? Because I have a soft
very
spot.
much so, yeah.
I have a soft spot for that
Best
monster
of
universe.
that Monsterverse.
It was
I
good
think.
did we see Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019?
I mean, we might have done,
I
but
don't know.
I did.
One of our many cinema adventures
Yeah, maybe.
eons ago.
Yeah, back when we were going. Yeah, no, probably, maybe. I wouldn't have watched it.
Godzilla
then.
2014, fine.
Very good.
Very different at the time.
yeah.
Kong Skull Island, not
No.
great, but
Not a
okay.
fan.
Good cast.
Let down. Yeah, but they didn't do nothing for me. They were
Yeah.
let down. But then that's my memory. I could be wrong. I could rewatch and say it's a 10 out of 10, but I doubt it.
King of the Monsters was great. It was everything I wanted
Mm.
2014 Godzilla to, but it's weird watching those 2 back to back. It's
Oh,
like,
I bet.
hardly anything. Here he is
It
for
is
the whole
everything.
fucking film. But
Yeah.
it's a fucking monster. Who cares? And then
It's
Godzilla
they.
vs Kong was like everything I wanted.
Awesome. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're fighting dinosaurs. Everything is awesome.
Obviously, some of this is
Yeah.
old hat that we haven't caught up on, but we got a title for Godzilla vs Kong 2, which is Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire.
Oh, well, the new empire. Ooh.
And then like the weird trailery thing ended with a red-faced ape. So Kong Junior.
Oh,
Junior.
got Junior.
Junior. Kong Junior. Was it? It's his son, isn't
I
it?
think.
Like
I don't
because
know,
Kong,
Kong
has a son.
But
In
is
like
he
some
red?
visual stuff. Some of them are
mega
in
red?
some depictions red
Right,
fur.
red.
I don't fucking know.
Red Kong.
All I know,
Donkey Kong.
giant gorilla.
Giant gorilla. Okay, fair enough.
But that's all you need to know on a need-to-know basis.
Son of Kong, but as a
Son of Kong,
Yeah.
basically. That's what I meant, not Kong Jr. Why the fuck did I say Kong Jr.?
Kong Junior.
It's because I'm in that Mario mindset.
Donkey
Fucking Diddy
Kong.
Kong and all that
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Oh, good times at the El Royale.
that ain't going.
Oh, it was bad times though, wasn't it? Zoe Saldana, speaking of bad times,
Oh, God.
says she is finished playing Gamora after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Disaster.
While I don't think it's the end for the Guardians, it's definitely the end for me.
DCU bound then?
I don't want all of them to be
Yeah, no.
DC. Like,
Because it'll be the Gunverse then.
Dave Bautista's Bane, get Karen Gillan as Poison Ivy.
Because I like that idea. Yeah.
Pom Clemente, it's probably space for her because like she's great and we've not really got to see much of her. Like in the holiday special, like notwithstanding, like she's not really been given a lot. So I'd like to see.
Yeah.
More, I'd like to see. Sorry, didn't mean to stroke you. Like I'd like to see in Volume 3, which comes out tomorrow at the time of recording, in the United Kingdom of King Charles III. Swear allegiance. Fuck off.
You can sod that sky high.
Bend the knee.
Bend
The rollers in the north.
Bend the knee.
Yeah, I expect it from Gamora because that arc's kind of done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can drag out. Oh, it's
But then
my
they're gonna
Gamora.
have to kill-
Hashtag not my Gamora.
But then it's gonna have to kill her again, which is
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Is she gonna go evil when they're gonna have to come to a clash, and then he's gonna die in her? She's gonna die in his arms. Is that how it's gonna end?
Yeah, it's gonna be weird to see how it ends for a lot of these characters because
It will be.
in
In an uncomfortable way.
Because Guns obviously shared one of the last times we were on set, like the whole cast was on set, obviously apart from Bradley Cooper, who's never with anyone.
I know he's
Never at the
excluded from the
premieres.
family. He's
He's
excluded.
never at the premieres. Everyone keeps saying, "Why is Bradley Cooper never with them?" Because Vin Diesel was always there.
Oh yeah, and he's a fucking tree. Rocket has more lines than Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's getting an insane paycheck for just saying the 3 letters of the
I'm
alphabet.
looking forward to where we're going because Rocket is the reason he definitely came back because he was he had to be the one to finish his story. So we'll see how that one goes.
And will it be good? Will the Marvel people be happy, or is it just be another film? I'm fed up with another Marvel film.
I don't know, man.
It's just a
I don't
Marvel film. Do you think it could potentially dip at the box office because people are like, oh, not a Marvel film, I'm done?
Do you think? I don't think so.
Maybe not so soon. Maybe not for Guardians, but I reckon like 2 or 3 films down the line, if they're on their current trajectory, it might be that not Marvel film. Like, I'm not gonna go and see it. I'll wait for Disney Plus. Because I think everyone's now aware that if you don't get your ass to the big screen, you can watch it from your big screen at home and watch it in IMAX, like for free on there. Like 9 times out of 10 with their films. So I don't know. People might do that. They could potentially do that.
I don't know. I think this is one that everyone's kind of because Guns back.
All eyes are on it. Yeah.
A lot of the marketing is it's the last one.
Yeah.
Do your thing, and you're kind of like a lot of people are going to come out and see it. I think it's definitely one that, as long as I make time for this, like I miss Shazam, but judging by a lot of the stuff for that, it was I know basically what happened.
Shazam was sick though. That was one that got shat on and didn't deserve to be shat on.
Yeah,
but that was good.
I think it's so middle of the road. It's like maybe it's best that I didn't go and see it with because I loved the first one. Like my experience would have been damaged anyway by Zachary Levi's stuff.
Perceptions. Yeah.
Oh god.
While we're on the Guardians fame,
Go on then.
literally something I wasn't aware of. Disney are going to be releasing over 600 unique versions of Guardians 3 to theatres. What on earth does that mean? Does that mean 599 different endings? What am I on about with 600 versions?
Essentially, it's just a Telltale thing, maybe. Pick your own ending.
Eat this popcorn, eat your sweet to do this. No. Including a version with variable aspect ratios. 45 minutes of the film will be presented in the flat 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio, which I suppose is just standard widescreen cinema scope 1, while the rest of the film is in the 239.1 letterbox aspect ratio. It's going to change.
Wouldn't you love if it was like fucking just the square?
Just a tiny pixel. You expect to pay to go and watch it. But no, 600 unique versions in cinemas. But again,
Is it just purely visually, or is it
it doesn't literally
structurally?
say anything. Structurally. sound. I don't know, 600 versions. Well, how can you make 600 versions of a film? And what's the difference? The frames, the colours, the sound, the visuals. Like what? How can you get 600 versions of a film? Baffling. But no, Guardians of the Galaxy. I will at least be talking about it next week. I would have seen it. I've got the tickets, and I will be the first one to let you all know whether it is yay or this is a Marvel film. Don't go and see it, or don't bother to go and see it. No, it should be good. It's a cap off to a trilogy that we all love. Yeah, again, Guardians 2, say what you will about it, but Guardians 2 is still a fun time. This third film shouldn't have happened. We did save it. I don't care. We big ourselves up a little bit. Yeah. We saved it.
We definitely got to go. That's the main reason I got to go and see it, because that was one of the that was like episode 3 that James Gunn was fired.
Yeah. And at that point, I left that room and went, "Who the fuck is James Gunn?" And then my life changed. Then
you left the room and went, "Who the fuck are you guys that I'm doing this podcast?"
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck is James Gunn? Who the hell is the Chrissy Pratt?
Here am I. Where am I? And who are you? James Gunn. But, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, I know, because as soon as it comes out, you're gonna have the ones on Twitter that are like, it's the best one ever, and then the ones that are like, it's such a letdown because it didn't do the 16 million things that I wanted it to do in my
Warlock,
head.
He's a fucking joke. He's got nothing to do with the. Why isn't he in the Infinity Saga? Adam Warlock. He's a teenager with long hair. This ain't the fucking character.
Nah.
Yeah,
But
I'm excited about Warlock. I hope he's good.
Definitely. I'm just excited to see Will Poulter in more things because he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Doctor Strange and that, like, they're all okay. Like, you know, the only one that I kind of like less as time goes on is Thor: Love and Thunder. But apart from that, because like we said before, our expectations were raised so high that they cannot be met any longer because now everyone just wants Endgame level stuff. But
and No Way Home
the
again.
way storytelling and narrative works, you've got to build up to that, and you know, you build up to a payoff. You don't just fucking pay it off in the first go. Stephen Moffat,
unless it's a game, microtransactions, and then you pay your way to it.
Yes,
microtransactions.
Go Power Rangers. Oh god, I'm in such a mood.
Nostalgia overload. Go Power Rangers.
But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do. Should we do a Guardians recap next week?
I think we should.
We'll do 1, 2, and then go 3.
For 3 seconds.
Here's volume 3, motherfucker.
Yeah, you had your chance to go and see it.
Robert Delaney's back for Deadpool 3.
Yes, confirmed. Yeah.
# welcome back, Sugar Bear. Which was on Ryan Reynolds' story.
Welcome back,
Big
Sugar
up
Bear.
Ryan Reynolds for not losing as much money with Wrexham now that they're going up a league. Well done.
Yeah, good.
Season 2 spoiler, am I right? For fucking Welcome to Wrexham.
Oh, I wasn't aware. Oh, I thought you were talking about real life. I thought
It's real life,
gone up. They'd
Yeah.
gone up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because they
So
were
they
like,
are winning.
they went
They're
on Disney
progressing.
Plus. They were like, the spoiler alert for season 2, but it's going to be wild when that finally drops.
Oh.
Because I don't know, because obviously, like, sports wise, you're a casual. Like, you know,
I'm definitely
the
a casual man.
World Cup's on. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, look at it, because everyone else is, and we can go to the pub.
I'm not a sheep.
No, you're a pasty sheep.
Yeah, I'm not a sheep, though.
No, but you're like more
Yeah.
sort of. I feel like you're more relaxed around those things. You're like, well, people that don't normally watch this shit are watching it, so I shall also partake.
Yeah, partake
'Tis
and
the season.
leave a comment and then leave happily and not go on my keyboard and moan about it like
Yes.
majority of people nowadays.
Oh, yes.
I'll just quietly walk away and be quiet about it.
But
Yeah.
yes, so I can't wait for season 2 of Welcome to Wrexham because that's
Yeah.
gonna be,
I keep seeing that all episodes now streaming. I thought it was out or
I think it's
what episodes are
a
streaming?
couple of months time,
Right.
like
okay.
maybe this month or next month. Obviously, because they've been filming it for this season. Because I didn't even realise it was all like last season, but like because they owned it for a year, but then done the documentary for like that year they bought it, and then it was a year later. So it's like it's kind of like just behind. So maybe that I don't know how it works, but
okay.
if you're interested in seeing sort of like a more like real look at it, Ben Foster, who was a goalkeeper for 20 years, just to be called a YouTuber, because obviously he moved into that as not his career started to, but as he got into the twilight years of his career, because goalies tend to have longer careers than outfield players because less running.
Less running, yeah.
So it's easier to keep yourself at like sort of peak physical like standing when like you've just got to sort of be in the goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm a scientist. I know how it works. But,
Genetics.
Ben Foster's in his 40s now. Played for 20 years. he after going like from Manchester United, went down to West Brom, I believe, and then Watford. So at Watford, he started sort of, because as a player, you've got to look at what you're doing in your life post the game. Like, do you go into being a pundit that talks about it on like Match of the Day and stuff, and Sky Sports and all the other companies? Like, do you go into management? Or do you like have, because a lot of players when they're young will like set aside time to do like a business degree or something, so that then they can like build something like while they're playing, so that then once they stop, that can be their job essentially. But he went more into the social media side because he started putting a GoPro in his goals.
Okay.
So he started that with Watford, because where they were in the Championship, like, so you would experience like game days like never before, because he would take you like on the bus, like doing the training sessions, like, and then at the games you'd actually be in the goal because like you're watching it on his GoPro. And when they went up to the Premier League, he wasn't allowed to because like they were like, you know, rules against that. So the vlogs changed quite a bit and people didn't like it. But then when he came out of because he retired, and then Wrexham approached him because they were like, we just need you for like this amount of time to try and get us over the line for promotion, because they had sort of
right.
they were like neck and neck with Notts County. I don't know, because obviously like that's kind of gone round, like when they played each other like a couple of weeks ago. That was the big game that kind of defined it.
Okay.
Because they were both on like 100+ points, which is mental.
Yeah.
So before that, I think the last couple of months, like he was brought in to sort of help get them over the line. Experienced keeper. Obviously, he hadn't trained in like 6 months, so it was like him getting back into it as well. But it meant that he could, because it was lower leagues, GoPro was back in, and for the last couple, he also wore a chest cam as well.
Oh, nice. Oh,
So,
okay, cool.
And it was good, like seeing that sort of like humbling experience, like where he's come from, like the budget they have, because obviously like Wrexham have a lot of money, but it's being essentially wasted because they're spending more money for the league they're in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why they needed to go up to then have
the next
more
tier.
better TV money, like better opportunities, than to play in like the better competitions to, you know, keep hopefully going up and up and up. But like seeing them with that, like that's a really good way to sort of just get a real feel for it, because with the last game where they won like promotion and got the title, like, and then you see him like with crowd on the pitch and say, like, it's just mental. Like they're only like 15-minute vlogs. Like it'll sort of like, you know, it'll do the classic vlogger thing where like the highlights bit are at the start, like there's a quick montage and then it goes into it.
Yeah.
So like, if you're ever interested in that side of Wrexham, like that's the real stuff on the ground, because obviously he speaks like he's like the training session with the boys and that, and then you see Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney like a couple of times. I think when he first signs, you see him obviously the promotion ones, and then bits in between games, because they're there a lot of the time, especially where it's been the last couple of weeks where it's been the run in for like, you know,
build up and
we need
prime
to win these to go up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, no,
that's the sports
actually,
section.
that's actually cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, decent. Oh, Ben Foster. Oh, is that just his channel on YouTube, Ben Foster?
Cycling GK.
Cycling GK.
Yeah,
Okay.
because obviously he's like his hobby while playing, like he would cycle the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, because he lived in the Midlands, I believe, but then was like sort of, you know, the commute and that or whatever. I don't know how it works. But he, so it's good stuff, like when players that you've known for a long time or like known of, they do that kind of stuff, because it just brings it in, makes it all a bit more real.
Yeah, it does make it all real. Yeah. Oh, decent. Ben Foster, keep up the good work. Keep up the vlogs, and get me interested. Stuff like that would be cool.
Because that's also like a way to look at it, is like, you know, a lot of people that aren't really interested in that kind of look at it and go, oh, like it's cool that, like, you know, it's kind of normal, despite how like insane like the whole thing seems to be. I think they're victory parades today, so there's probably going to be one, like another one, because they're all going to be on the bus down in good old Wales celebrating. Speaking of good old Wales, Russell T Davies was 60.
Wow.
Yes.
He was 60.
I think yesterday or the day before.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Rusty the Davis.
Rusty the Davis, yeah.
But it is good, man. Like, good times.
We've had Tennant's birthday recently.
That Tennant's birthday, he's 53.
Yeah, 53.
Still looks so good. And then, like, was back in costume for the announcement of the Blue Peter competition.
Yeah, the teaser thing. Yeah,
and
that was cool.
He's just fucking going nuts. And it's like, oh, David, I can't wait to see it. Did you see the ident corruption?
Well, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, the corruption thing is a little teaser.
Yeah, and then if you heard what happens when you play it backwards.
No, what happens when you play it? You are not alone. I am the
So
master.
you get a
The Rani.
yeah, the Rani thing. So there's like dialogue and stuff, but like you play it backwards, like it ends with Donna saying, "Why did this face come back?"
Oh!
So
Mic drop.
Is she gonna remember?
Mic drop.
Is Donna gonna remember? That's the main question.
So this is 10th Doctor again in Donna's eyes, potentially. Not 14th Doctor, none of that mumbo jumbo. This is 10th Doctor Donna being like, "Why you come back?"
But also, yeah,
Oh.
she's seen who frowned me this face,
Yeah.
who got my brain on fire with this face. But also, so apparently, you know, at the end of Journey's End, when like she's doing that, you know, you could fix the convenience statement into the binary.
Yeah.
So apparently, like I don't know how someone worded it, but like that's a plot. Like the binary is like something like in the specials, like it's a plot point.
Okay.
But also, someone said, and it's also ironic that she said binary 14 times, and David is the 14th Doctor.
Whoa. Way back when,
Has
eh?
Russell retroactively foreshadowed something in a past episode?
The whole time.
What a genius
Oh,
man.
wow.
What a lovely, lovely man.
Ah.
Hopefully one day we can meet him. Until then, we'll have to just watch Doctor Who.
Oh,
Ain't
doesn't
a
sound wrong
bad-
with me, yeah.
Ain't a bad thing.
No,
Ain't
definitely
no bad
not.
thing.
There could be a lot worse things.
Um,
We could be watching the DCU shout we've been moaning about, and the Marvel films are just kind of meh.
They've been alright.
You should watch more Polite Society. That's what happens. It sounds like a series.
Look out for the little guy.
Yeah, look out for the little films like Polite Society and all unique stuff. Doctor Who is on the trail of being unique once again. This second half of this year. Not long to go. Freaking November, like 7 months. 5 months, 6 months. 6 months.
6 months. Yeah, 6
6
months
months.
until the anniversary starts. Oh, dear
Until we know
God.
what's going on.
Oh, how good does Shooty's costumes look though? Like that
On
60s
point,
one.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm.
He's gonna be like you're getting like a Pertwee Doctor feel where it's like the costumes are completely different, but they still feel like
They
they're
still
in the
feel
same
his
bracket.
yeah.
So I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see what Ruby Sunday as a character has
Can
in store
offer.
from us because you know they must have seen something in Millie Gibson to give an 18-year-old a chance.
Well,
so
definitely.
we shall see.
Mm.
But no, I'm looking forward to it a lot. Murray Gold's back. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because it's
The anthems are back. Well,
it's like it feels like the
Doctor
rest of the
Who,
victory lap because it was kind of
Doctor Who,
obvious. Like
Doctor Who.
everyone was kind of like
Yeah.
shocking no one. Murray Gold returns for the 60th,
Mm.
which is true. But also, I kind of was like, I wanted someone different.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know who. I'm. That's not a jab at any composer. I'm not an expert in the field. I don't know anyone up and coming.
Ludwig van Goren's the one that does Boba Fett and Mando and stuff like that. Maybe.
Yes,
Like the Star Wars
he's the
stuff.
name.
Like
Yes,
he's
I like him.
at the
I like
moment.
his
The stuff
themes.
that he's doing is he's the composer I know about the most in terms of
Right,
media.
Yeah.
Like you're right. It's unfortunately it's a criminally underappreciated department within
Department of Field. Yeah.
within film and
A
television.
job range. Yeah.
Murray
Yeah.
Gold, obviously, you know, because of Confidential and stuff like that, I've always been aware of him. I think Sega Nakanola did a great job. I know a lot of people think that his music didn't he was very unmemorable.
If we jumping back to McGann, if we ever did get the American Doctor Who in 1996 feel, and this is all Americanized, I mean, not he's American. I don't know why I think American and Hans Zimmer. That would be like the dream. That would be like a Doctor Who movie type thing. Hans Zimmer,
Yes.
Doctor Who score.
Or John Williams.
Yeah,
Like you think,
Yeah,
composers,
he would
that's
work.
like the main names you think of at the moment. You think
Yeah.
of Hans Zimmer, you think of John Williams because like come up with so many things. Alan Silvestri because
Alan
of
Silvestri,
Avengers and Back to the Future and
Yeah.
other things that I can't think of right now.
yeah.
But in terms of TV, there's not really because I know a
yeah.
lot of people have said Murray's work post Doctor Who is because he done years and years.
Mm.
I believe. Do you do It's a Sin? I'm not 100% on because I know he's done some Russell stuff. I don't know if he's done all of them.
Okay.
But my main thing is the last 2 years, arguably, of
The Who Doctor.
of the Moffat era.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Like
Oh, you definitely ran out of steam at that point. Yeah.
they weren't commissioning stuff
Like,
because they have
commissioned.
to obviously like they have to commission you like the music. So obviously they were just instead using like just reusing old like things like the Bad Wolf theme of Rose when Jodie regenerates.
Yeah,
You had I Am the
right.
Doctor like in Series 8 Next Time trailers. You had like, because the theme for 12 was like, it was good, but you didn't really hear it as much for it to catch on like the
Yeah, like I Am Doctor. Dun, dun, dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun. Like
dun, dun,
I Am the
yeah.
Doctor is the best piece of music he's written in terms of like,
Oh,
you know,
1000%,
it's a
yeah.
tune that just he like the Doctor and that theme are like forever
Inseparable.
intertwined.
Yeah, inseparable. Yeah.
And the stuff he did for Tennant, for Eccleston, for all the companions, I think all the companion pieces were good. Like Amy's theme is gorgeous.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Clara's, I don't particularly remember, but that was at the
Same
point.
here.
But that was at the
Same
point where after the 50th, it was kind of
dipped
like,
a bit.
and
Yeah.
we're running out of steam on this, and we kind of just did it, and we're not going to commission you a lot of new music, Murray, unfortunately. But like Shepherd's Boy is good, like the regeneration, like music that was used in Heaven Sent, all that kind of stuff. So as long as he and he will do, because there's definitely going to be budget used for this. Like,
Yeah.
as long as it's new pieces, like I'm up for it. I think that he got to a point where obviously like then he left because he'd stayed on for so long that it was like, oh, you know,
Well, he
what,
did
I know
up to Series 10, didn't he? He did pass Series 10.
He did 12 years on the show.
12 years. Yeah, I can imagine.
So hopefully that means that you know, he's obviously like Russell got some more stuff going on in his noggin, and he's happy to come back and do it. Which, you know, it's Murray. It's going to be good, but it does feel a lot like here's the old
Nostalgia.
gang back together.
Oh,
like,
very much.
yeah, it can't not work. Because we've got David, we've got Catherine, we've got Phil, we've got Julie, we've got Russell, we've got Murray, we've got Rachel Talali coming back. I hope there's, as much as I hope there are some returning writers, I hope there are also some new ones, because because someone did a thing on Twitter that was like, if so, a writer from each era, like that you'd want to return, and I didn't do one from each era because I couldn't narrow it down.
Fine, yeah.
So there's a brief one that I could think of. Where was it? So I went for, from the Russell era, from RTD1, I went for Tom McRae and Matt Jones. So Tom McRae wrote Tom McRae wrote Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel.
Fair enough, yeah, I like those episodes.
But the one that mainly got it, but I used him up in the Russell slot, was his work in the Moffat era, because he wrote The Girl Who Waited.
Oh.
And at the time when Moffat was in like early years of Smith, like McRae was one of those touted as he should be a showrunner. So was like other ones that I'll mention.
Okay.
Yeah. Matt Jones wrote one story for Doctor Who.
Which season, which Doctor?
Series 2.
Series 2, Fear Her, one of the bad ones. No?
I wouldn't have him on if it was one of the bad ones.
One of the bad ones. Tooth and Claw. Girl in Fireplace.
That's Stephen Moffat.
Of course.
Tooth and Claw is not a bad shout. I don't know who wrote that, but that's a very good story as well.
I feel like Euroslin, I think, did it.
He's the director.
Okay.
Euroslin directed a lot of Who. Matt Jones wrote The Impossible Planet and Satan Pit.
Of course, okay.
One of the best stories of not
Series
just
2,
Series 2, but of
that
the
was where I was going to
previous
go
era.
next. Yeah, that's where I was going to go next. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, both Rise of Simon, Agent Steel, and Impossible Planet and Satan Pit, they're both great.
Yes.
Season 2 stuff.
But Tom McRae was mainly for the Moffat era
Moffat stuff,
story, but like I like Tom McRae, and like I'd like him back. I'd also like, obviously, like The Obvious Answer from because I've tried to go for not The Obvious Answers, because The Obvious Answer for the Russell T Davies era was Robert Shearman.
Sherman, yeah.
Sherman. Because obviously he just wrote Dalek and Ducked. Paul, what's his face? The one that wrote Family of Blood.
Paul
something.
Paul Tier.
Something, I don't know. The one who wrote Family of Blood, like he's done and done a lot of the books and stuff as well.
Paul Cornell? Is it Paul Cornell?
Paul Cornell, that's the one. Also, so for the Moffat era, I did Toby Whithouse, because I love a good Toby Whithouse script. I love Being Human as well. I don't remember what he did. He must have done at least one for the Russell era, surely. But the one that springs to mind the most, like, I love the God Complex. Like, I really do love the God Complex. Who did the
Complex?
God Complex was Toby Whithouse.
Whithouse.
And I believe he did A Town Called Mercy in 7A and did other things. But the other one I went for because I think she was quite good and we need some more female input. Sarah Dollard, who wrote Face the Raven and Thin Ice.
Okay, yeah.
Like the whole idea of the Trap Street thing was genius, and like she was a great young up and coming writer at the time, and she should come back and do another one. And then for the Whittaker era, or the as it should be, the Chibnall era, I did Maxine Anderton and Pete McTeague.
Pete McTeague, yeah, he rings up, yeah. Pete McTeague. McTeague.
Maxine Anderton did Village of the Angels and other stuff. Because Mallory Blackman just did like a co-write on Rosa, didn't she? I would have used her, but like she'd be like the Neil Gaiman. She'd be like the the magnum opus, like a golden fish that you got to catch. Because Neil Gaiman would like his screenwriting now, the way he's gone with Good Omens. Like I'd love to see more of him. But yeah, so I went for those 6 in the pick one from each series thing.
I can't like them all. To be fair.
House of the Dragon season 2 will continue filming and because we've got to talk about briefly as we wrap up the writers' strike, because the Writers Guild of America are on strike. Nothing will be produced until a new contract with the writers is signed, because it's like like at work you have unions.
Yes.
To basically it's like insurance for your job. Like if you have a car, you insure it. If you had a job, why wouldn't you insure that as well, so that you're like protected and in work and with your pay and stuff like that. So until a new agreement is reached and a new contract is signed, there will be stuff not being produced, which is hard. But apparently season 2 of Game of Thrones will continue amid the strike, which obviously it's Writers Guild of America, so
okay,
because it's more of a European based thing, but it's with the producers, like all that stuff that side, like all the HBO stuff is the American production. So I don't know how they're going to get around that, which will be interesting. Obviously, if you work in the industry, you should get the money that you're worth.
Well, absolutely.
Whatever your job is. So that's all I can really say on that, because we don't really know much more at the moment.
No, we're not in the field. Like composing, we're not in the field. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Right, strike.
Any thoughts? Any closing thoughts from you?
I'm now literally I'm in my own little world about writers. I'm thinking about who I'd want. Any writer, not just Doctor Who ones. I'm just thinking, any writer can come and do a Doctor Who script, any story that I'd want, written by so and so.
Was it John Frey that did that really good episode of Children of Earth with Russell?
Oh, okay.
Like him, maybe, I don't know.
I've just seen his name. I want Christopher H. Bidmead to come back.
Oh.
The Goblins, Castrovalva and Frontios. 3 great stories.
Oh.
Well, Frontios I've not seen, that's a lie. But The Goblins and Castrovalva, they're 2 of my favourite childhood nostalgic Doctor Who ones. I love those stories. Guilty pleasures. Guilty pleasures. No, Christopher H. Bidmead, come back. Please come back, Chris.
Oh, Robert Holmes. No, that would be a sight to behold.
Richard Curtis to do a rom-com love Doctor Who story.
One, yeah.
Well, he actually did a Doctor Who story.
He did Vincent and the Doctor.
Well, my mind is... Well, Richard Curtis
wrote Vincent and the Doctor.
Bruh, okay, I didn't know that. What? What?
There you go, the more you know. That's a cliffhanger that we can end on.
That is a cliffhanger and a half. Bloody hell. Oh, now I'm just going to think film directors. I want Wes Anderson Doctor Who. There you go. I think he would go with Doctor Who.
Well, you know who was offered to direct Rose?
No, I don't.
Edgar Wright.
He said no.
Didn't do it at the time.
Oh, you idiot.
We
I love the man. He's an idiot.
We almost got Edgar Wright
to do Doctor Who. Wow.
But much like Peter Jackson would do Doctor Who if he got given a Dalek prop, I think we could get Edgar Wright back in, maybe.
Yeah, come on, let's do it. Let's petition.
Let's
we got James Gunn back from his job 5 years ago. We can get Edgar Wright to do Doctor Who. We can do that. That's a challenge. Challenge accepted on behalf of Mr. Edgar himself.
But yeah, until then, thank you for this kind of just brief chill catch up as we get ready for one last time to go into space with the Guardians. Next week, get your stuff in for the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy as we end with Volume 3. But yeah, thanks for that. You want to give them the places they can go?
the place they can go,
Yeah.
the corner shop. No, if you want to follow us on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok, you can find us at Pacey Sheep across those platforms. If you want to send an electronic mail to the What We Do in the Shadows is address in Staten Island, which I can't think.
The island of
the
Staten.
island of Staten, not New York. Send it to nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com for any quandaries, queries, and screenplays that you would have write yourself if you were a Doctor Who director or a DCU director. All of you would be better than anyone at DC at the minute. You sort the DC stuff out, sort Doctor Who out, sort Marvel out. Send us your screenplays and your ideas as to what you would write, because I'd be curious and I'd probably watch it.
Yes. And until then, we'll see you next week, you beautiful people. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Na, 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 na.